Hi, I'm the Gadget Guru Andy Parr, and this is the Vog.net. Here with me is Laura and Luke. They live in Jacksonville. They were driving through. We stopped and had lunch, and as you can see, they're riding a Vision. Figured this was a good opportunity to talk to another Vision rider to find out what they think of their bike. So let's start off with how long you had the bike.
November of '07.
And what do you think of it so far?
Oh, I love it.
How many miles?
10,700 and change.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Is this your first bike?
No.
Okay, what have you had before?
A Honda 750 and a 75 Honda 750 and a 2000 Victory Sport Cruiser.
Oh, okay, so you went from the Sport Cruiser to this bike?
Yes.
Okay, what motivated you to make the change?
Well, actually, I bought the Sport Cruiser to learn how to ride again after 30 years, so I would be ready when this bike came. I ordered it in April of last year.
Okay, what sort of riding do you do?
Mostly two-up with Laura, and people say, well, do you ride long rides? I say, well, that's relative. A long ride for some people is not what we do. We do 150 miles one way for lunch. So, long ride, but this down here to Miami is our first really long ride, and so far it's great.
Okay, Laura and Luke, you have more than 10,000 miles on the bike now. What's your favorite part of the bike?
My favorite part of the bike, the stereo system, believe it or not.
Okay, I've heard a lot of people complaining about the stereo system. They think it's underpowered, but you like it?
I love mine. My speakers are factory speakers, and they do just fine.
You know, I have to agree with you. Other than the antenna issue with the AM/FM, I'm happy with the sound. My hearing's not that great, and I hear it just fine at highway speed.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I don't go above 15, the setting 15, and it goes to 30. So why do you need to spend more money for speakers that make it even louder than that?
Okay, you and I have two different riding positions. I'm 5.5 feet tall. You're well over 6 feet. How does this bike fit you?
Fits me fine. The floorboards are large and gives me room to stretch out or tuck my feet back underneath me to get a different position for a while, to, you know, take the strain off my back, whatever.
Okay, Laura, from the passenger's point of view, what's your take on the Vision?
It is very comfortable. I have even fallen asleep on the bike. I don't get butt cramps either, like I did on the the touring bike. What is it? The cruiser, on the Sport Cruiser. But yes, I love it, and the sound system. I get, good sound from the radio.
I noticed that you have the risers on here. What motivated you to add those on the passenger floorboard?
Because I'm short, so it'd be more comfortable for me. So that's how he had it from the beginning, because he knew I would be comfortable.
If the factory's listening right now, if you could change anything about being in the back seat, from your point of view, what would you change?
Nothing. Not at all, unless they're going to put the handrails on there, the armrests.
Okay, these are the ones you saw on the demo bike, but you haven't found.
That's correct.
Okay, have you asked the dealer about those?
No, I have not.
I have asked the dealer, and they are not available.
Okay, so do you find that strange that they would show that to you months and months ago, and now they still can't get them?
Yeah, well, yeah, that they would not have something available for purchase on the pre-production bikes, and they asked for they wanted us to rate them, and they asked our opinion when we did the test rides, and that was one of the things I wanted.
So has anybody gotten back to you on that?
No.
Okay, Luke, from the rider's point of view, what's your feeling on the Vision?
It's probably the most comfortable bike I've ever sat on. Much better than Harley Davidson, much better than my old Honda.
If you could change anything about this bike, if you could talk to the factory and say, this is what I want done, what would you tell them to change?
Make the heat go away.
Okay, let's talk about the heat issue. Can you be a little bit more detailed of what you're experiencing on the heat issue?
Right calf, it just burns me up.
But not on the left side, only on the right.
Only on the right side. I don't notice it on the left at all.
Now, I notice you're like me. When you ride, you wear gear. You even feel it with the gear?
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, did you notice this on the other Victory that you own?
No, I did not.
Where do you think it's coming from?
Probably the exhaust.
So if they could change one thing about the bike, if they could do that, then you'd be just as happy as could be.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, I've noticed that you've made a number of changes and a few custom items here. Why don't you tell me about some of them?
Oh, well, I blacked out the console, which I thought was a bad idea having it silver since it reflected right back into my windshield.
Did that get rid of that issue?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Completely gone.
I noticed you have the cup holder here. How did you do that one?
I did that one myself. Just took the speaker grill off, figured out where it needed to be, drilled a hole, and mounted it up.
Now, I noticed on the front you put some new lights down there. What are those?
Oh, those are fog lights from Victory, available from Victory, and I'm very happy with those. The more light you can put on the front of a motorcycle, the better. You know, I really don't want to hear from the person who almost runs over, well, I didn't see you.
Now, do you think that Victory put enough lighting on the back of the motorcycle?
Oh, yeah. I have ridden behind other Visions, and they couldn't have put in more light than is on the back of this thing.
Personally, I would have liked to have seen them add some lighting features to the rear of the trunk. It just seems that that's another place to be seen better. Have you thought about that?
Well, some of the guys that I've read their threads on the Vision Riders and the VMC, both of the websites, and people have discussed it, but nobody's actually gotten into it to do it, wanting to make these running lights that are on the trunk turn signals and or brake lights as well.
Okay, I'd like to see that too. So if anybody has a fix for that, make sure you contact us, because I think you have two interested customers right here. If you could turn the clock back and start all over, would you have bought this bike in the first place?
Oh yeah, I'd buy another one. Right now, it's not a problem.
So you're happy with it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let me ask you, you guys tour quite a bit, you know, as evidenced by your odometer. What do you think about the storage space? I'll start with you, Laura.
I feel it is sufficient. But when we go on longer trips, you know, we need a little more storage. That's why we put the bag on the top.
Yeah, I noticed that you put the luggage rack on here and you have this, bungee down. Is that working for you?
Yes, it is. The only reason I'm using the bungees is to make sure that the bag doesn't lift itself and the rack off of the trunk. I don't want to break the top of the, I don't want to break the trunk cover.
You mentioned to me something about a bug issue, something I've never heard about. Not the kind of bug that you would think about. Can you tell me about this one?
Well, as a matter of fact, today on the way down here, I had a bug come up through the console area from the front wheel and hit me on the forehead.
Is this the first time that's happened?
No, it's not. I've had other bugs, butterflies, etc., come up through the console area from the front tire.
You know, this is the first time I've ever heard of anybody report that issue. Maybe it's because you're a foot taller than me. Maybe it's just going over my head. But, I think we both looked at the bike, and I don't think we see a fix for that one.
No, I don't see how you could close that off, because it has to be open for the handlebars to turn.
Are you planning on keeping this bike for a while?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what do you think?
I'm hope he does, but I'm going to be getting my own. My handle is I ride 2 up for now, so I'll be getting my Vegas low as soon as possible.
It's been a pleasure meeting both of you. And just so you know, this is how I met these guys. Just trading messages in the forum. So you never know. You meet somebody online, they're going to pass through town, you're going to go through their town, you stop, you have a lunch. Hey, life is good. For the Vog.net, I'm the Gadget Guru, Andy Parr.